between us. I got a new couch and Gabe didn't notice.
Yeah, I would have noticed once you sat down, I think. But
Why once I sat down?
You sat down
first. This is now our 4th couch show couch.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we started your apartment.
Uh-huh.
Then we did the iconic blue couch, which I feel is really what people think of.
Yes, absolutely.
Then we did the gray couch for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now white.
Yeah, well, it's a brand new Pride season.
This was on sale. Okay, so you picked today's topic because I'm not well versed in it. So take it away.
Okay, I want to talk about women in sports.
We're allowed to play sports?
That's very funny. Did I tell you this, that I went with a friend of mine my friend invited me to a soccer game, and I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. And they were like, yeah, I have season tickets. And I was like, cool. And so we get to the game, and it did not occur to me until we arrived at the game that it was men's soccer. I thought I was like, forgot that men played soccer. It did not even for 1 second enter my mind that we would be seeing men play soccer.
How was it?
It was fine. Wasn't as invested as I would have been. Oh my God. Okay, so let me run you through women's soccer drama.
Okay. Women's soccer drama.
Yeah, let's do
Here's the one thing I know about women's soccer.
Go on.
Is that Sophia Bush is now dating someone who was a big soccer player.
Okay, so
she was also married to another big soccer player, and there's debate over the timeline.
Yes, so that's one part of it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm hip.
Okay, and it bleeds into women's basketball.
Fantastic.
Okay, so Allie Krieger and Ashlyn Harris are both on the same team. They are dating. They get married.
Okay.
Ashlyn they've never won a championship.
Okay.
Okay, so Ashlyn's never won a championship.
And she's really good?
Really good.
Are they equally good?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
So Ashlyn retires. No championship. And then there's also, it's the champion. Okay, where do I start? Okay, so then there's rumors that Sophia Bush married to a man.
Yes.
There's rumors that Ashlyn and Sophia Bush are hooking up. Everyone's like, no. Why would, she be cheating on Allie? That's crazy. And
Allie hasn't retired yet?
No, Allie's still playing.
Okay.
So then it comes out that they absolutely were, that Allie and Ashlyn are breaking up, and Ashlyn's pretty much with Sophia Bush.
Phantom won't stand for that.
Right, he's very against cheating. And so there was debate on the timeline, blah blah blah. Allie, then they're prepping for the championship. And because Allie's team and Ashlyn's old team are in the championship.
Okay. It's the same team.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're saying, but Ashlyn's not on the team anymore.
Right.
They're saying, the party line is there was no cheating, blah, blah, blah.
That both relationships were over before they got together. Even though they were good friends before.
Such good friends.
It didn't turn romantic until it was kosher.
So then Allie posts a picture of herself getting ready for the championship with the caption, "In my lemonade era." So then she's letting everyone know what really happened.
That it was cheating.
Yeah. Then it's time for the championship, and they're up against Megan Rapinoe, who is an amazing player as well.
I've heard of her. Okay. She has the short blonde hair.
Purplish blonde, yeah.
And
sometimes
she's done a lot of political activism.
And she's married to Sue Bird, who's one of the best WNBA players of all time.
So cross sports marriage.
Sue Bird is in the audience of the championship.
Okay.
It's Megan. Megan's retiring after this. It's her last season. It's her last championship.
Okay. And then she's on the team with Allie or opposite
No, they're on opposite teams.
Okay.
So Allie's on one team, Megan's on the other team.
Okay.
It's a championship. The big thing on Megan's end is that this is her last season, and then she's retiring. On Allie's end, everybody's kind of also rooting for her because of her. She's been maligned. She's been wronged.
Oh, she's okay. So it's who are we even voting for here?
Who are we? Both teams, right? Who are we rooting for
in the sports world?
So it's who are we rooting for? So I'm talking about a month before the game.
Uh-huh.
Every promo is Rapinoe versus Krieger, the showdown, the final showdown. Everything is Repeat, like, this is going to be an amazing game. Rapinoe versus Krieger. Rapinoe
Now, I
versus
have a
Krieger.
question.
Yeah.
Now, if the drama around Allie's marriage breaking down hadn't happened, would this have been the way it was publicized? Was she the best person on the team?
It would have, it would have been publicized because I think she was retiring. So it was like both of these greats were retiring after this.
Got it.
But the breakup stuff added to it.
Got it.
Everyone, I think before this, everyone was more of a Rapinoe fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I cannot stress enough how much the promos were about Krieger versus Rapinoe.
Okay.
Okay, huge. It's the championship.
Okay.
It's, I would say, 2 minutes into the game.
Oh my God.
2 minutes into a 90-minute game. Rapinoe gets injured.
No.
She's out.
No. Was it her knee?
And it wasn't even in a play. She like slipped and hurt herself. I think it's her knee. Might have been her. No. I think it was her ankle. Okay.
I have a lot of knee.
Yeah. No. It was not her knee. It was her ankle. Right. 2 minutes in to this championship, she's injured. She's out. Sue Bird in the audience freaking out. This is amazing player. This is the end of her career.
That's horrible.
It's horrible.
I find sports to be too high stakes.
It's way high stakes.
Like, I get too upset about sports.
Oh, it was devastating. I was watching the game fucking lose. Everyone was losing it. Rapinoe's on the sidelines crying because it's like the end of her career. Now, she doesn't have a championship, but she does have a gold medal in the Olympics.
Okay.
So
Allie's team won.
So Allie's team wins.
You gave that away.
Yeah, a little. Well, did I? I mean, they could have had an amazing thing where they were against, okay, so then here's what else happens that's crazy.
Okay.
Is you're not allowed in soccer, it's 90 minutes, there's no breaks.
No breaks?
No breaks. Like, unless something crazy happens. So they have to play.
Understand.
I know, it's really wild.
I don't think you're correct.
No, I am.
So it's the same people the whole time and they never sub anyone out?
They can, but it's like very rare. It's not like basketball where they're doing it all the time. It's like very specific rules.
How do you know all of this?
Because on Allie's team,
okay,
something happens to the goalie, and the goalie can't be goalie, and they need to take someone from the field and make them goalie. They're not trained as a goalie, so it's this chaos where they take one of the players, make her the goalie.
They don't have a backup goalie?
They do, but for some reason they can't trade her in. They need to use someone from the field. So they get this girl in to be goalie.
Please fact check us in the comments below.
They get this girl to play goalie, and she's like throwing on the goalie stuff, like totally like panicked. And we think it's going to be really bad. And
did they just pick the tallest girl?
I don't know what they did.
Okay.
It ended up that the team still won, even with this random girl as the goalie the last.
Did she stop anything?
I don't think so, but it was like very scary. So now Allie, after getting cheated on, gets to, I think, retire with a championship from a team that her ex who cheated on her left without ever having a championship. So now she has a championship. Her ex who cheated on her doesn't. And everyone felt bad for Megan Rapinoe. I think she should take comfort. I mean, it sucks. It really sucks that that's the end of your career. She should take comfort in that she at least has gold medals. That's how I felt. I was like, you have gold medals, like, but obviously, like, you want a championship.
Yeah.
But so that was devastating. But Allie, the good story was Allie Krieger has a championship ring, and her stupid ex Ashlyn Harris doesn't.
So you're aligned with Allie.
Yeah, Team Allie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It sucks because Sophia Bush is so beautiful.
And it's like this thing, I feel like, where she came out and was like, I'm queer, and everyone would have been like so happy for her, but it's also like
I've seen commentary that it's like, instead of being like, I'm a homewrecker, she's like spitting it as her beautiful queer story.
Not to compare them at all, but it's like when Kevin Spacey was like, you got me, I'm gay, and everyone was like, that's not what we were mad about. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, this has nothing to do with sports, but when everything was okay, so Kevin Spacey had been closeted for forever. Open secret. And when all these allegations were coming out, he put out a press release that was like, okay, you guys got me, I'm gay. And everyone was like, what? Like, he came out as gay to distract. Like, everyone was like, oh, that's not what the problem was. And he was like, as a gay person, I have struggled in the closet, whatever. And people were like, literally, that is not the narrative.
Wow. But it's a smart move because maybe it could have worked.
It was very funny. At the time, me and Alexis Zoll made a sketch for her YouTube channel. That was where we just read about Kevin Spacey, and then we decided we could do all kinds of crimes if we just said we were gay. And so it was us going around, like, doing crimes, and then, like, being like, I'm gay.
Oops.
Oops, I'm gay.
I'm expressing myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I killed a few people.
Yeah, oops, gay. Then the thing that's happening in women's basketball right now is that there's this new girl coming in to the WNBA named Caitlin Clark.
I know who Caitlin Clark is. I don't live under a rock.
Oh, so you do know.
I know all about Caitlin Clark, that she's unbelievable, unprecedented talent. She didn't win the championship, but she did get first-round draft pick.
Yes.
And they only get paid like $75,000 a year.
So that's the thing. So this all ties into, I mean, first of all, it is interesting that this white player is getting a bunch of, press when there have been exceptional black players before. But the other thing is that they could use her in order to get the salaries raised. Like, she might be a good conduit to getting the salaries raised for everybody. Because now people are like, she's literally bringing in like so much money to the WNBA. Why is this not translating to a bump for everyone? But this ties into, so Brittany Griner, when she got arrested in Russia, the conversation we should have been having is, why is a WNBA player who's so great having to play overseas to make extra money? That's why was she in Russia? Mm-hmm. And that's the conversation we should be having.
Yeah, one of many we should be having.
I mean, so it's this very interesting thing where these, they're hoping that Caitlin Clark will bring more eyeballs to the WNBA, thus creating more revenue that people are like, well, this should rightly go to the players.
You know what's wild is like how the tennis circuit works. That you just have to support yourself and get yourself to all the matches and like all these things, and like you're not part of a team.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's like horrible.
Yeah, it's really horrible. They touch on that in Challengers.
They do.
Yeah, I mean, I think people think that athletes are making all of this money, but that's why they have to do all of these endorsement deals and stuff, and that's why
it depends what kind of athlete.
Well, okay, like, yes, certain
athletes make a lot of money.
Yeah, well, certain like ESPN2 like type of sports, and also like and also college. They don't make any. College is what stresses me out. When you were talking about sports being stressful, to me, watching college is very stressful to me, because you will see grown men in the audience absolutely screaming and shouting, and I have to like step back and be like, this is a 19-year-old kid.
I know.
This quarterback is fully 19.
Now they're going to get money. They changed the law.
Yeah.
But it's unclear how it's going to work. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's just really scary that like your whole life and everything you've been working towards can go away like this, because like, to be an exceptional athlete, it's not like being an exceptional writer where like, yes, you have to write a lot, but it's not like you're training 8 hours a day where it's like your whole life and like all your diet, your sleep, like everything is based around this thing, and then it can just go poof, bye-bye.
Yep.
Terrible.
It's terrible. And it's also just such high stakes, because they'll talk about like you forever, and like this whole fandom will like rest on you, and that's why it's so like stressful to think about the actual ages of these players. Yeah. Like LeBron was 19
when he got drafted.
Yeah.
John just told me a story just last night about this college pitcher who was like unbelievable, and everyone thought was like going to be like a huge star once he went to the majors. And he was doing a pitch, and for some reason there was like a bat boy or someone was like in the way. And so he had to like, to save that person, he had to like stop himself from throwing the ball. But the action of stopping himself from throwing the ball tore his elbow, and then he could never pitch again. Or he could never pitch professionally. Did
everybody freak out at the bat boy?
I'm not sure. But then he went on to be a coach, and he touched many people's lives.
Yeah.
It's not even like a regular injury. It's like a freak injury.
That's what happened to Megan. Well, I think sometimes about like, I'm like, oh my God, Drag Race is they're all so dramatic or whatever. But then I think about, okay, if it was, because they'll be like crying when their friend goes home. I'm like, it's just a TV show. But thinking about it, I'm like, this is their dream. Like, imagine if you and I were on a show that was, well, I mean BuzzFeed, but imagine if you and I were on a show that was like, we were competing about writing, right? And then I had to send you home and knew that I was crushing your dream. Of course I'd be crying.
Yeah.
Like, that makes total sense.
Remember when we almost had our own show on MTV? That was wild.
You know what's interesting is that out of all the people that had shows during that time, the only one successful was Nicole Byer. Who else from that era actually?
But we could have been.
But maybe, but the odds are against us.
Oh,
like
so
I
you think our show would have tanked?
yeah, like all those shows tanked in that time period.
Well,
I often think that it was like not a good crop.
You think our show wasn't good?
No, our show was good, but I think MTV wasn't promoting those shows. Like I don't think our crop, like that crop of shows, would have like broken through.
Yeah, but it still would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool. Was it Memorial Day sale?
No, I got it a while ago, but it took forever to come. I got it when I was in New York.
Okay, this is a very in my 30s complaint. Couches take forever to arrive.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. A lot of furniture takes a long time to come.
Never knew that. Well, I was always like, what are my parents complaining about? This is what you have to look forward to.